All right, morning everyone, and welcome to session 7A on deep learning. We have 6 exciting papers in this session, so let's get right to it. Our first presenter is Jaeyong Song. He is a master's student at Yonsei University, and he's going to be talking to us about Optimus-CC, efficient large NLP model training with 3D parallelism aware communication compression. Take it away.
Hi, I'm Jaeyong Song from Yonsei University. I will introduce our work, Optimus-CC, which efficiently trains a large language model with 3D parallelism-aware communication compression. As emphasized in today's keynote, it is the area of large language models. The large language models have been more powerful in its functionality due to the large language model size growth. Training such large language models require huge computational resources. However, the achieved flops is far below the theoretical peak, around 50%. Large language model training uses pipeline schedule. However, the gap occurs between the theoretical peak and the achieved flops, and it is mainly from the pipeline schedule. So we can use communication compression method to mitigate this issue. Optimus-CC answers to the question that how to compress the communications in the pipeline with comparable accuracy. To sum up, Optimus-CC is the first work on 3D parallelism-aware communication compression. It reduces communication volume with comparable model accuracy, and it is scalable on larger models such as GPT-3. We evaluated it on a hypercluster with 200 gigabit per second InfiniBand. I'll briefly overview the backgrounds about the large language model training, and I will introduce the motivational study of Optimus-CC. Then, I will introduce the 3 schemes of Optimus-CC, and at the last parts of the presentation, I will show you the evaluation results and the conclusion. Large language model training uses input embedding composed by token embedding and positional encoding. This input embedding passes to the transform layers, and the output embedding is generated from the transform layers. This output embedding is multiplicated with the token embedding to make logits, and via these logits, we can find the appropriate word for the next word, in this case, 4. However, if the number of layers is large, a single GPU or a single server cannot handle the full model. In this case, on the top of the famous parallelization technique, tensor parallel, we use pipeline parallelism. Pipeline parallelism can handle larger models by using the pipeline schedules. In this example, a total of 16 layers are split into 4 servers, and each server handles 4 layers. Pipeline parallelism uses the interstage communication, in this case, inter-server peer-to-peer communication, to train the large language model in a pipeline manner. A combination of tensor parallelism and pipeline parallelism and data parallelism is called 3D parallelism, and large language model training usually uses this 3D parallelism. For the tensor parallelism, we omitted it in slides for the brevity, and pipeline parallelism uses peer-to-peer communication between the pipeline stages, and data parallelism incurs all reduced among the data parallel groups. Now let's see how overall communications are conducted in the pipeline schedule. From the pipeline parallelism, the interstage communication occurs in the forward path and the backward path. It is inter-server peer-to-peer communication, and there are another type of communication from the data parallel communication. It is all reduced communication as illustrated as the yellow boxes. Actually, there is another type of communication in the large language model training called embedding synchronization. To make the input embedding, token embedding is used. However, the token embedding is also used to make the output embedding to make the logic values. Therefore, it is a shared parameter and needs synchronization if in the different device. In the burst view of the hypercluster, the token embedding table is handled by the 4 different servers, so we need synchronization. The usual method is that initialize the same embedding at the first time of the training and synchronize the backwards gradients while training. To synchronize it, current framers first uses or reduced among the data parallel groups within the data parallel communication. And next, they incur additional or reduced between the first stage and the last pipeline stages. Therefore, embedding synchronization uses 2 or reduced communications. When we illustrate the embedding synchronization in the pipeline diagram, it can be illustrated as the purple boxes. In overall, the communication is a bottleneck in the pipeline diagram, so we can use communication compression. A challenge is that the computational overhead is so big, so the general communication compression method usually uses lossy compression. So it is important to how to keep the model quality. So Optimus-CC compresses the communication while keeping the model quality on 3D parallelism. Now let's see the motivational study of Optimus-CC. Below figure is the training time, breakdown, and the validation perplexity, which means the model quality of the baseline training and the communication compress method. As illustrated as the blue arrow, the communication portion is large. When you apply the naive data parallel compression, it incurs quality drop. When we use naive interstage compression, it brings severe quality drop. So Optimus-CC aims to provide speed up without quality drop like red box. Now, then how Optimus-CC provides such speed up with comparable model quality? Optimus-CC targets 3 types of communication in the pipeline. The first one is the backpropagation peer-to-peer communication. And second one is the embedding synchronization communication. And last one is the data parallel or reduced communication. At first, let's see how Optimus-CC compresses the peer-to-peer communication as illustrated as green arrows. We call it compressed backpropagation. It compresses the backward interstage communication like this, so it provides execution time reduction. However, by a naive compression, it can harm the model quality such as accuracy. So we propose 2 ideas to maintain the comparable model quality. The first one is Lage error propagation, and second one is the epilogue-only compression. Lage error propagation propagates the error from the current microbatch to the next microbatch. In detail, we compresses the gradient from the current microbatch, and we can calculate the error from the compression because it is lossy compression. And we can save it. We propagate the saved error to the next gradient, and we also compresses it. From the whole microbatches, we repeat from 1 to 3. Next scheme is the epilogue-only compression. The end of the pipeline, which we call epilogue, is the critical path that determines the final latency. So we compress only the critical path, and it significantly reduces the quality drop. Now let's see how Optimus-CC compresses the embedding synchronization. Previous frameworks incurs two or reduced communications, but Optimus-CC fuses these two or reduces into a single or reduce. In a simplified figure, the separate data parallel communication and embedding synchronization are fused into a single fused embedding synchronization. In this example, the gain is about 43%. Lastly, let's see how Optimus-CC compresses the data parallel or reduced communication. We call it selective stage compression. With naive compression, it does not consider the critical path, so it compresses all the data parallel communications. However, selective stage compression is critical path aware, so it compresses only the critical path area. Therefore, it provides good trade-off between the speedup and the model quality due to the no compression area. As a result, by using compressed backpropagation and fused embedding synchronization and selective stage compression, Optimus-CC provides execution time reduction. Now let's see the evaluation results of Optimus-CC. We use 16 servers, and each server has 8 A100 GPUs. The interconnect speed is 200 gigabit per second, and we used two representative models, GPT 8.3 billion and 2.5 billion. For the notations, CV means the compressed backpropagation, and FE means the fused embedding synchronization, and SC means the selective stage compression. By using CV and FE, it provides 7 to 13% speed up without model quality drop. With SC, it provides 45% speed up with comparable model quality. When we break down the training time, the communication portion is large, and when we sequentially apply the schemes of Optimus-CC, the communication time reduces. For the compression and decompression, the overhead is very small due to the high compression and decompression throughput. For the detailed analysis about the compression decompression, please refer to the paper. Optimus-CC provides good speed up over all configurations of tensor parallel and pipeline parallel, and it is scalable on larger models. In conclusion, Optimus-CC is the first work on 3D parallelism over communication compression, and it provides 17% to 45% speed up. It is scalable on larger models, even in GPT-3. Thanks for listening, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions.